Hello my darlings, I hope you're doing very well. I hope you're sitting comfortably, you are cozy, and you may have your snacks and you may have your beverages. It may be best just to have beverages for this video because there will be some somewhat graphic images throughout this video. Not exactly graphic as such, but if you have a very queasy or weak stomach, you might not want snacks, okay? But it's not too brutal, but I will give a trigger warning for one of them because one of them really set me off, and yeah, it's a wild ride, this one. So in today's video, we'll be talking about a tattoo removal company that gets rid of tattoos by not using laser. They use a whole different technique, and per their website, it looks like they do get very good results. However, not everything is as it seems. There are people having terrible reactions to this tattoo removal technique and being literally scarred for life, and it does not look good. Okay, like they would have been much better off keeping the original tattoo that they wanted to get rid of, or doing laser, or just having a cover-up, because now they're gonna need cover-ups anyway. So yeah, it's an interesting topic. I've been sent this company's name a few times here and there over the past couple of months, but all of a sudden I'm getting a lot more messages and a lot more comments. So that is definitely a clear sign of, hey, Lauren, you really need to look into this. And I looked into it, and oh my God, I've never seen anything like it. So let's get into today's video, okay? Get comfy, get cozy again. Be careful with your snacks and your beverages, all right? Like, you might be all right for the first portion of this video, but the second portion is not going to be so nice, okay? So, we are going to be talking about Tatt2Away in today's video. That's literally the brand's name, Tatt2Away, but it's spelled T-A-T-T, then the number 2, then away. Kind of creative, kind of cool. I'm here for the name, that's for sure. So as soon as you go on the website, it says remove your tattoo ink with Tatt2Away. Remove up to 35% of unwanted ink each treatment. Choose Tatt2Away, the non-laser removal solution that lifts ink from the skin. So they kind of go about this as a way of, you can remove your tattoo a little bit and then it's good for a cover-up. But they also show on their website like what a tattoo looks like completely gone. You know, like it's a weird one, this. So on the Tatt2Away About Us page, it says organic tattoo removal by Tatt2Away, and then it says Rejuvatech Medical, the manufacturer of the Tatt2Away tattoo removal system, specializes in the development of natural tattoo removal options. The company is focused on the needs of the customer and the industry it serves, setting the new standard of care for tattoo removal. Our innovative removal technologies are directed at the real problems in the business of removing tattoos. Rejuvatech Medical collaborates with physicians, estheticians, and studio artists alike around the globe to continually refine Tatt2Away technologies, methods, and techniques, creating the best possible outcomes for those who are seeking tattoo removal treatments. As the leader in non-laser tattoo removal, we at Tatt2Away are committed to those we ultimately serve, those looking to have their tattoos removed in a safe and natural manner possible. Just as important, we're dedicated to bringing you the highest standards in tattoo removal service and technique, allowing your body's natural elimination process to shed unwanted ink and pigment. We are very proud to be an FDA-registered medical device manufacturer. We uphold and maintain rigorous FDA medical device quality systems regulations. We are ISO 13485 compliant, and all technology is CE safety tested. We design and assemble every piece of equipment in our Salt Lake City, Utah headquarters. There is quite a few Tatt2Away locations. I'm not sure on the exact amount. I mean, I could sit here and count, but I cannot be bothered, but there is quite a few. It does say we are available across the US at Tatt2Away offices, tattoo salons, and med spas. Okay, so we're going to look at the how it works page on the Tatt2Away website. So it says Tatt2Away, how does tattoo removal work? Here is everything you need to know. Tatt2Away is a non-laser tattoo removal method that uses the body's natural healing process to lift and remove tattoo ink from the skin using a precision dermabrasion technique to create small controlled abrasions over unwanted tattoo. A proprietary 100% natural ingredient solution called Tatt2Away is delivered during the abrasion process, aiding the body's natural healing process to expel the ink particles safely from the body in the form of debris, scab, or what is that word? Escar? Tatt2Away is effective on all ink colors, works on cosmetic ink and permanent makeup, and is suitable for all skin types, being the prudent choice over traditional laser tattoo removal with reduced risk of scarring when aftercare is followed diligently. Please remember that, okay? Remember that says this on the website. Okay, thank you. Most clients have full removal in 3 to 5 sessions, with up to 35% of ink being removed from the body after each treatment, which sounds pretty good and promising, because if we think about laser and how it does take a very, very long time, you know, some people are having laser tattoo removal sessions every 6 to 8 weeks, and they have to do that for about a year to 2 years, and that obviously is time consuming and it's expensive. So Tatt2Away here have, you know, some pretty decent promises of the fact that, you know, it will go pretty quickly and it won't take as long as laser, you know, like it does sound very appealing. Okay, quickly to interject, I have to do a voiceover because I was watching this back, the video, and I was just like, what even is this Teprosol bullshit, right? Because it doesn't say what the ingredients is or anything like that, unless you go absolutely digging through their website to try and find out answers. So what this Teprosol stuff is basically a lactic acid, or that's at least one of the main ingredients throughout this Teprosol stuff that gets injected into these holes that are poked into your skin. Then that obviously does its magic and then pushes the ink out of your skin as the scab heals. So it's called proprietary L40 lactic compound, and what that is basically, again, lactic acid. It's medical grade lactic acid, and it's normally used throughout skincare stuff, just meant to kind of exfoliate your skin and give you you know, smooth skin. It's also very good for anti-aging, getting rid of dark spots, fine lines, that kind of thing, right? Again, I do find it kind of odd that this kind of information isn't available unless you go digging for it. The technology behind Tatt2Away. What is TERPA? I'm gonna call it TERPA. TAPAS. So TAPAS stands for Transepidermal Pigment Release. It's a non-laser tattoo removal technique used by Tatt2Away. This innovative method focuses on removing tattoo ink through the epidermis rather than relying on traditional laser treatments to remove the ink through the body's lymphatic system. Tatt2Away treatments utilize specialized equipment, including a handpiece with a sterile disposable TEPA brush cartridge and a proprietary TEPA solution. The handpiece allows for precise application of the solution and controlled abrasions to release the ink particles from the skin. How TEPA works at the cellular level. As Tatt2Away makes small, controlled and strategic abrasions in a dot pattern to expose the dermis, Teprosol, Jesus, I'm not going to be saying this correctly by any means, is deposited over a braided area to disrupt the ink particles embedded in the dermis. Terpsol, oh my god, I'm going to be saying this so many different ways, is 100% natural, using ingredients that already exist in the human body to help loosen the bonds between the tattoo ink and the dermis. Wondering how tattoo removal works? After each session, the body's natural healing process kicks in. As the skin heals, it expels the disrupted ink particles through the epidermis using a scab. The ink is removed from the body once the scab falls off. New skin cells regenerate after the scabs fall off, replacing the old cells that contained the tattoo ink. This process gradually removes the tattoo as more ink is removed each session. Removal is quicker, safer, and more effective. Key benefits of TEPA. Unlike lasers, which may have difficulty targeting certain ink colors, Tatt2Away is effective on all tattoo colors. This method minimizes the risk of scarring and skin damage, as it avoids the intense heat and energy associated with lasers. Since Tatt2Away does not use lasers to remove tattoos, it is suitable for all skin types, making it a versatile option for tattoo removal. Tatt2Away provides an effective and less invasive alternative to traditional laser tattoo removal methods by leveraging the body's natural healing process to expel tattoo ink. Okay, I think we get the point with that. Oh, we're on to the procedure. Okay, so you have a consultation and assessment, blah, blah, blah. Preparation for your first session. On the day of your first tattoo removal session with Tatt2Away, your tattoo will be thoroughly cleaned to remove any dirt, oil, or bacteria. Then a topical anesthetic may be applied to minimize discomfort during the procedure, but not always. For best results, please make sure to keep your tattoo out of direct sunlight for at least 2 weeks before your first tattoo removal session. So this is kind of tricky. I mean, obviously, I will always advise people to look after your skin. Always wear sun cream, always wear SPF, okay? You have to protect your investments, which is your tattoos. Some of my traditional tattoos on this arm are like 15 years old at this point. And the reason why I think they still look pretty dang good is because I always load up on SPF anytime I'm out in the sun, okay? Like, I cannot stress how important SPF is. But yeah, to be out of the sun for 2 weeks, again, obviously you can wear SPF, but that's going to be kind of difficult for those that live in very, very hot, sunny states like Texas, okay, California. Where else is known to be hot and sunny? I don't know. That's the only ones I can think of right now. I'm so sorry. After each session, your treated tattoo will be cleaned and covered with a sterile dressing to protect it from infection. Our tattoo removal specialists will provide detailed aftercare instructions for you to follow over the coming weeks, including how to clean the area, what to avoid, and a photo schedule for your technician to help you catch any complications early. It's crucial to keep the area dry and avoid exposure to the sun or submersion in water until your treated tattoo is fully healed. Please also avoid picking at the scabs or peeling skin to prevent scarring. For more information on how tattoo removal works, contact our team today. Then it goes on about how this is like a natural way to remove your tattoo. So let's take a look at some of the before and afters of the Tatt2Away removal process, like what a tattoo looked like before and what it looks like now. So here we have one. It was some angel wings. It is obviously quite faded, probably an old tattoo as well. And this is what it looks like now. So as you can see, it's gone, but it's also left a white scar there, or I don't know, it's like taken away this person's pigment in their skin. We also have this one, what it was before. I think it might have been Mandarin symbols, maybe. I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to tell because there's the dots drawn on there. And this is what it looks like now. Of course, some of the tattoo has gone, but not all of it. There is still remnants there. And also, again, some pigment has been taken out of this person's skin. And then we have this one here, which looks like it's completely gone. However, I don't know about you, but this looks incredibly photoshopped. Like, this person's skin all of a sudden looks incredibly smooth there. It could just be the lighting, but it goes from, like, you know, normal, like, textured skin to very, very smooth. I don't know, there might be some kind of lighting trickery there or Photoshop, I don't know. Then we have this one here. So someone had Wanda tattooed on their tummy. And this is what it looks like now. You kind of have like a shadow going on there, but because this person has some hair going on there, it kind of just looks like hair to me. You know, it blends in quite nicely. And then we have this one here. I'm not sure what this is, to be honest with you, but anyway, it's quite a heavy tattoo, and this is what it looks like now. Again, what's left is like a little bit of like scarring and what have you. Again, some of the pigmentation is coming out of this person's skin, and again, they do look kind of scarred. Like, from far away, well, actually from far away, it still looks kind of bad, but like the results aren't too bad when it comes to the, you know, getting rid of tattoos. And then we have this one. It's a very, very dark tattoo, and then all of a sudden a big portion of it has just completely disappeared, and this person doesn't seem to have too much scarring, too much pigmentation loss. There is like a shadow there, but it's not like terrible or anything. And then we have this person that has a ring on their finger. I'm guessing someone has ended up divorced. And this is what it looks like now. Again, it just looks like a little bruise. There isn't too much pigmentation left of the tattoo. Again, just looks a little bit bruised. Then we have some very sick tribal going on here. This is giving 90s for sure. And this is what it looks like after. Again, the pigment from the tattoo is gone, basically. It just leaves a little bit of a shadow and a little bit of like, I don't know, like rippling there or something. Like, that person's skin did not look rippled beforehand per se, no. Now, in case you didn't know, when you get tattooed, there is a possibility that you will be scarred for life even without the ink. So if a tattoo artist is heavy-handed and they go too deep, they can leave scarring. So that is something that we definitely need to take into account, especially with some of these heavier black tattoos. They will possibly have scarring underneath. So even if this person got laser or any other kind of removal technique, they would be left with scarring anyway. So that's something you always have to take into account when you get laser or whatever. So yeah, some of these do have good results. Some of them are a little bit questionable, you know, in places, but okay. I'm sure if you were looking to get a cover up or something, this kind of result would be absolutely incredible. So if you're looking to get an old tattoo covered up, but you've been to a couple of tattoo artists and they've all said, no, sorry, we cannot cover that up. It's just not going to happen. And they would advise you to get laser. Or there is now obviously this Tatt2Away that you could get, and you could get your tattoo lightened up or completely somewhat removed, but left with, you know, some pigmentation issues there. But if you put a tattoo over the top of it, you won't see that. So this kind of result is perfect for, you know, a cover up. So here's some Tatt2Away tattoo removals in progress here. Okay, so we have someone that has a kiss mark on their neck area there, and this is what it looks like after 2 treatments. That's kind of scary looking if you ask me, but okay. Then we have some script here, and this is during leg removal. Is that part of the treatment? You know, you come in, get a tattoo removed, and then you get your leg removed at the same time. Bloody hell. And then here's some other ones. These ones are brutal. They're very, very dark. So getting rid of these would be pretty tough, even for laser, to be honest with you, especially again with this one. Here is some other ones here. Oh gosh, that's going to be kind of hard to remove as well. Same with this. God. And this one as well. Yeah, it's looking dotty. The rest of them are looking incredibly dotty in places. And some of these are just kind of questionable, you know, like the results aren't too bad. Like, as you can see, there is no tattoo ink in the dot area for the majority of these, but yeah. Okay, so wow. And then we have this one. Now, this is kind of accurate to what people are being left with from this process, but this isn't the gnarly version. I've seen some gnarly versions, okay, and we're going to be looking at those in a bit. So we have some examples of people that had the removal here and then had a cover up over the top, and then we have a name here. I mean, you could have easily covered this name up without doing all of this, because what is the point here? You've still got quite a bit of darkness there, you know? You could have easily got a tattoo artist to cover this name up with a very dark butterfly, just putting it out there instead of doing all of this, but okay. And that's basically it when it comes to the before and after photos. It does look kind of strange, right? You may be wondering, I wonder how much this costs. Well, I'm here to let you know. Tatt2Away do have a cost breakdown on their webpage. They have an average tattoo removal cost here. It does say the cost of tattoo removal varies depending on the method, the size, the complexity of the tattoo, and the number of sessions required. While laser tattoo removal can be expensive, Tatt2Away is the most cost-effective procedure due to the fewer sessions needed for successful and complete tattoo removal. Even though we saw not so much complete tattoo removal on their before and afters, but okay. Those wondering how much does tattoo removal cost, Tatt2Away provides transparent pricing and significant savings over traditional laser methods. Additionally, Tatt2Away's effectiveness on all ink colors and skin types can save clients money by avoiding extra sessions needed to remove stubborn or lighter inks. One thing I will actually point out now, when we go to the before and after, because it did say about all skin types and all of that, all skin colors. There's no, oh no, there is one person of color just here, just one, just one. Yeah, out of all of these clients here that have had Tatt2Away, there is just one person of color there, and I mean, this is like a drawing. It's not a final result, but as you can see, some of the skin pigmentation has come out there, which it does do for everyone else, but I would imagine it might be a little bit more noticeable if your skin color is a little bit darker. Anyway, back to the cost. So it does say laser competitors. The price of treatment can be anywhere between $350 and $450. It takes 8 to 12 sessions with treatment completed in 48 to 72 weeks. The average cost is anywhere between $2,800 and than $5,400. Ink is broken down and released deeper in the body. Cannot remove certain color spectrums. Amount of pain is described as more painful than a tattoo, which I have heard before. They're not exactly lying with any of this. Like, I've heard all of this before, and yes, it is more expensive. And Tatt2Away's treatment is anywhere between $250 and $350. Only 3 to 5 sessions with treatment completed in 25 to 60 weeks. The average total cost is anywhere between $750 and $1,750. For the both of these, okay, that is still so much money. Like, whichever one you choose, that is still so much money, especially if you're trying to get rid of a tattoo that costs like $100. Like, it's crazy. Please think about your tattoo choices. Otherwise, you're going to be spending so much money trying to get rid of them, okay? Anyway, removal process naturally draws ink off the skin, which apparently is healthier. Removal works on any colour at each treatment, and pain level is about the same as a tattoo. So there is a lot of benefits with going the Tatt2Away route, right? You know, it's cheaper, quicker, may work even better if you have an array of different colours tattooed within a tattoo. So like, even I would be very, very tempted by this because, you know, I'm an impatient person. And this is the impatient person's dream. And then it goes on about how cost is determined and cost per treatment and the process and all of that. Okay, you can also have financing on this as well if you want to. You know, it is still kind of expensive, even though it's cheaper than laser. It's still pretty expensive. So, you know, if you want to have it, you know, done by payment plans, there's that. And then it talks about the types of tattoos they remove, which we've kind of gone into all of that anyway. We've seen the before and afters. And it talks about the sizing here. So small tattoos would cost $360 to $960 to remove completely, which again is a good price. It's a good price. And then medium to large, and this includes a sleeve, okay? And a sleeve is like this much coverage. That's a lot, okay? And for the maximum price to be $2,240, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. And they do permanent makeup removal as well, like eyebrows mainly, I'm imagining. They also have a removal then cover up price tag going on here, so you can get your tattoo removed then covered at the same place, which is kind of interesting. I'm imagining they do this in these kind of tattoo studios where there is like laser removal as well. I've been to a few studios that do tattoos, but then also in another room they do tattoo removals. Which is wild to me, but you know, it makes sense, I guess. So we've looked into the business side of Tatt2Away and how it works and how they do what they do and the results of it. And like I said, it all seems kind of promising, also very, very efficient when it comes to time and cost. And I can definitely see the appeal with Tatt2Away. That was until I come across people talking about their experiences with Tatt2Away, of course. And it's not good. It's not good at all. I found quite a few posts on the Reddit subreddit page, Tattoo Removal. And for this sub, it says, this sub is intended to discuss laser tattoo removal. We are here to give you support and information on your tattoo removal journey. Please do not ask how many sessions you need for removal, but feel free to share your concerns, progress, and frustrations. Good luck. Of course, people have been speaking about Tatt2Away on this subreddit, and it's not good. Oh, it's really, 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 really not good. Okay, so one of the first posts I saw was, do not get Tatt2Away. Please everyone read this and do not get this Tatt2Away treatment. It's a scam. They will scar you. The lactic acid solution they use only works well for tiny small tattoos less than a dime in size. I experienced it myself and was scarred and needed 6 months to heal before doing a whole cover up. Tatt2Away was so afraid of a lawsuit after I complained. They paid me not to disclose this story. See the videos on YouTube, they are horrendous, only laser works. Tatt2Away is a complete scam to hook you with their prices and time, and they prey on the point of it being healthier, which it is not. Stay away. I could see as to why this person is probably scarred per the before and after results on their website, and those are like the good results, okay? They're only going to show the best of the best on their website, of course, because that's what makes them look good. It does have a tag that says, I promise I read the FAQ. And I was like, okay, maybe there is something in the FAQ that says, oh, by the way, you may be left with scarring. No. Okay, so the only thing that I could kind of find is, will it cause hypopigmentation, scarring, or keloids? And it says, just like with tattooing, the best way to ensure optimal healing is to impress upon the client the importance of following the specific aftercare procedure. Due to its similarity to tattooing, Tatt2Away shares some of the same risks to the skin. This includes the extreme importance of avoiding contaminants and infection risks, as well as direct sunlight exposure during healing. Just like with tattooing, if a client's skin is prone to keloiding, it is possible for a keloid scar to develop. Failure to adhere strictly to all aftercare procedures can increase these risks. Tatt2Away technicians are trained to look for possible complications, including failure to comply with aftercare and refuse treatment or refer a client to a dermatologist. Tatt2Away is effective on all skin color. Skin that is very light or very dark tends to be more sensitive to treatments and may take longer for pigment to return to normal after treatment. Tatt2Away does not adversely affect darker skin color like laser removal can. Most important is the client's overall health and skin condition, as well as their ability to follow directions. Lack of compliance with aftercare may compromise the results regardless of skin color or skin sensitivity. You can suggest a limited test treatment of one or more Tatt2Away God. Dots, okay, it's called dots. During the initial consultation, the cost of a test treatment is determined by the individual studios and generally not included in a free consult. A sterile treatment kit will need to be used even for a small test, which I understand that, you know, like, I mean, it would make sense to do like a free test, but I guess that's obviously going to cost them money, especially if someone doesn't return, you know, so they can't really get back more money from that client if the person is like, actually, no, I don't want to do this. So they lose out on money and what have you. So I understand that. As you can see, there is nothing here about scarring and the fact that you may be left with scarring. It talks about keloids, but it doesn't talk about scarring, right? We can all agree with that. Keloid scarring and regular scarring is obviously different. So nobody's warned that they may be like scarred for life. Like, yeah, okay, it says that it may take a little while to settle down and heal, but there's no transparency of, oh yeah, by the way, there's a possibility you will be scarred for life with a bunch of dots, so good luck. Like, there's nothing with that, okay? So there is another post that says, Tatt2Away. Has anyone tried Tatt2Away? I'm looking into large tattoo removal and someone suggested it as an alternative to laser since laser would take so many sessions. The closest one is a few hours away, so I hadn't heard of it before and don't know anyone that's tried it. My biggest concern is how much it might scar compared to laser. Any insight is appreciated. And then of course there is a few comments that are kind of like, no, don't even try it, okay, honey? Don't even try it. Do not do it. Tatt2Away is my biggest regret. I started the process last April for a small fine line tattoo and I am still hardly halfway through the removal process. The scarring is not worth it, plus they do it in spots, so you'll be left with a deformed tattoo. I had to wait over a year for my second treatment because of how raised and irritated the scarring was. I would not risk it at all. Another person said, I've heard of 0 positive outcomes from this method and I've done a lot of research before starting my laser removal. The original poster says, oh no, what sort of negative things have you heard? And then the person replies saying, it's harsh on the skin and tends to leave scarring. Another comment says, I have been to Tatt2Away and Removery and personally I'd stay away from Tatt2Away. For those of you that don't know, Removery is a huge laser tattoo removal company. It's like a chain in America. It is a long and excruciating process. From one side of my forearm, I was there for 5 to 6 hours while they cut tiny holes out of your skin. The parts they worked on did remove all of the ink just as advertised. However, I have raised scars from their removal, as do a lot of other people in reviews. Some of them get deleted. And if you research their work, you'll never see full removal from them. Another comment says, Tatt2Away completely mutilated my daughter's arm. She has hard raised keloid scars on her whole forearm and the staff really didn't care. I would only go to a licensed dermatologist for tattoo removal. Her injury from their process is so bad, she will be scarred for life and probably unable to get a cover-up since now she has quarter-size hard keloids on the inside of her whole forearm. Another person said, I had Tatt2Away in 2016. It was so painful and I'm left with tons of scarring. My leg almost feels like Braille, except instead of raised dots, they're sunken in. It did remove quite a bit of pigment, but my leg is very damaged. I was lucky to find a tattoo artist that was able to cover what was left of the original tattoo and do so even with the scars, but that too was also more painful than your average tattoo experience. And if you look, you can still tell I have scars. Another post says, Tatt2Away, might prefer the scars, honestly, any reason not to. I know a lot of people don't like them, but it does seem to remove the tattoo. Laser is going to take forever just to get 90% of mine removed, if that. Plus it goes into your body, which I don't want either. That's obviously with laser. The ink pigment kind of floats through your system and all of that jazz. Okay. Tatt2Away might be the best option for me at this point. Is there any reason not to do it when I hate my tattoo this much? Someone replied saying, people come to my studio with circular scar tissue in a grid pattern and they want me to fix what Tatt2Away did to them. I can't. You're trading a tattoo for a scar which may not be tattooable should you decide to cover it up. I've never seen good results from that product and I can't believe they haven't been sued into oblivion. And then another person said, don't do Tatt2Away. I did 2 sessions on a tiny fine line tattoo and I'm feeling very down about this whole situation. I know tattoo regret sucks, been there, but there's no need to hurry. Stick with what's safe, laser, and take your time to remove your tattoo. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh god, I accidentally zoomed to one of the posts that's terrible. So this is where we start to see pictures of people's terrible results with Tatt2Away. We have this one. And as you can see with this picture, this person is covered in circular dots that look like scarring. Like, that is horrific. It is so bad. I have never ever seen anything like this, okay? Like, I feel so incredibly bad for this person because this person was obviously living with tattoo regret. They wanted to get rid of their tattoo, so that's one emotion. But then to go from that to, oh my gosh, I probably shouldn't have done this removal session because I now have the majority of my tattoo left that I didn't like and now I'm scarred for life. What the actual fuck, okay? So they said I got Tatt2Away first session 3 months ago and second session 2 months ago. Half of it first session went well and there won't be lasting scarring, not pictured. But the second session went terribly and has red and raised scars everywhere, what is pictured. It was a terrible idea on my part. I definitely trusted them and the results they showed me, I regret deeply. I went to a dermatologist and going through the motions with them. Any insight or advice would be appreciated. Also, please warn others of Tatt2Away, simply not worth it. Someone did reply in the comment section saying, I also had it done. It's been 3 months and still red. They really need to stop doing this. Now this is the one that's really bad and this is the one that really fucked me up. So this is a huge content warning and trigger warning for those with I can never say it. I've got it phonetically spelled out here. Hang on. Trypophobia. Okay, which is basically the fear of continuous holes, like a lot of holes. For me, I'm not scared of it. It just spikes anxiety in me. I can't explain it. It makes me feel awful. When I saw this, when I was doing my research, I was freaking out and now I'm gonna have to look at it again. And I'm doing this for you. But just know I'm about to be having a terrible time. Okay, I'm going to read the caption first quickly. It says, hi all, long time lurker, first time poster here. This tattoo is 5 years old and after a very long time of twiddling my thumbs, I finally decided to have it removed. First few pics are the scabs that formed in the middle of the treatment. The last one shows my tattoo in its current state. Unfortunately, I was drawn to the idea of the Tatt2Away method that was supposedly cheaper, less painful and needing fewer treatments. Really wish I'd found this sub before then. It's one of my biggest regrets and I'm sure you can understand why. I was told that it would be 8 to 12 weeks between treatments. I've only had one thus far back in March of this year. This was 2 years ago, and my arm is still not healed enough to continue. Never mind the scarring, I'm not impressed at all and feel like I've been swindled. So far, I've been to a couple laser removal establishments, including Removery, and both have said that the current scars won't go away, which is fine, I expected it. Decided to go with Removery, but I was wondering if I could get any advice on what to expect or how the pick away will affect the scarring. I've noticed I still have a small bit of ink left behind in some of the circles, and I'm worried if the scar tissue will make them react differently as opposed to normal skin. I know my skin will never be 100% clear again thanks to Tatt2Away, but is it worth going through a complete removal or would a cover up suit my situation better? Okay, now that I've read the description, we're going to look at the photos. And here is your timestamp to skip the photos, okay? I cannot even prepare you for what you're about to see. Again, if you have trypophobia, please skip this, okay, please, okay? Okay, so this is the person's tattoo. It is a deer and then there's like a forest situation going on there. It's not completely legible, like You can just about tell what it's meant to be. A lot of definition has come out of this tattoo. Also, the script is kind of ropey in places. What does it even say? May I stand unshaken? Cool, okay. But overall, this could have easily been a cover-up. You would have had to have something pretty dark over it. I think a cover-up, as opposed to what they have been left with now, would have been much, much better. But you can't predict the future, right? Okay, so this is what... God, it's so bad. This is what this person's skin looked like after a session of Tatt2Away. As you can see, oh my God. I hate everything. I've literally got goosebumps. Okay, I'm fine. Yeah, it doesn't look good. I could personally not do this technique of removal because if this is what it's possibly going to look like, I wouldn't be able to look at my own body. I wouldn't. I'd be terrified and set off and anxious. I can't even explain what my chest feels like right now. It's awful. Yeah, I would feel awful looking at my own body. And that's not cool, in my opinion, you know, to have this kind of, feel like I can't breathe, reaction to this. Okay, it does get worse. This is just the beginning. We're going on to the next picture now. Again, can you just imagine having this on your arm? I just do not see the benefits. Like, yes, it's cheaper. Yes, it's quicker, but that's it. That is it, in my opinion. And to me, cheaper and quicker isn't always better. Oh, okay, moving on to the next one. Moving on to the next photo. Oh, that's really not good, is it? I just don't understand this method of the whole holy situation. Of course, again, they have to like stab you, make a hole so they can put a solution in there. So then it like heals up and then the ink is pushed out and what have you. And then it should just fall off with a scab. And yeah, okay, I get that. But I just don't. I do not like this technique. I do not like this method. And I don't like the way it looks. You know, with laser, your skin gets red. It does sometimes boil up. And laser also looks pretty gnarly as well. But I would take laser over this any day. Any freaking day. Please and thank you. Oh, okay, so that is pretty much the worst of the photos over. This is what this person's skin looks like now. Incredibly scarred, very dotty. Again, I just don't understand I just don't get I just don't get how this is a better option than laser, other than the price and the time frame, because I don't think it's worth the risk of being scarred for life like this. And again, I feel incredibly bad for this person being scarred for life like this, because again, they're left with a tattoo that you can still see. You can still see remnants of that tattoo, and they are now scarred for life with a bunch of dots. What the fuck? So there are some comments on this post. Hello to everyone that is joining back, that skipped those horrible photos. Whew, I still don't feel right. I literally, my chest feels awful. Anyway, someone said, hey girl, same happened to me on my left forearm wrist 1 year after the Tatt2Away and several dermatologist visits for cortisone injections. I finally decided to touch up the original tattoo with more ink. The skin is so stressed that I have varicose veins popping out under the Tatt2Away scars and ink. My recommendation is to continue with laser. I'm working at a laser clinic now and I wish I went there in the first place, and even before putting more ink. They can do scar treatments and resurfacing as well as very safe tattoo removals. Good luck. And then someone else says, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry you got pulled into it too. I had 5 sessions on my wrist and my tattoo is now just a very sad ghost of itself with scarred skin. I am planning on getting it covered, but I don't think it will be very easy to tattoo over the scar tissue. When I looked into the procedure, initially I was under the impression that the tattoo would be basically invisible, but the second practitioner who did it for me, the first one stopped doing it, told me she only recommended Tatt2Away for people who are planning on getting cover up afterwards, and there's little to no chance of the tattoo becoming invisible. They also can't get deep enough to remove blowout, so the skin just looks great after healing. So for those of you that don't know, a blowout within a tattoo is when the ink goes under the skin and kind of spreads away from the tattoo. I had one myself just here. I don't think it's noticeable that much anymore. I'll get a screenshot from an old video where I talk about it, but over the years since I have had it, I don't know how old it's from, this tattoo here. Oh, how old is this tattoo? I think I got this in 2014, maybe 2015, so it's at least like 10 years old anyway. And yeah, there's still like a shadow here, but it's really not that noticeable. But yeah, blowouts do just happen. It's normally due to a tattoo artist being a little bit heavy-handed, or it depends on the placement. You're more likely to get a blowout where your skin is thinner, so you'll see blowouts in people's arms here, on wrists as well, and anywhere else that the skin is thin. But yeah, blowouts do happen. It's just part of the risk of being tattooed. It doesn't mean the tattoo artist is necessarily a terrible artist. It's just one of those things, you know? But yeah, the fact that Tatt2Away can't get rid of blowouts either, I mean, I think that's the least of their worries, to be honest, after seeing what we've just seen. And here is some pictures of someone being scarred from Tatt2Away. And as you can see here, oh boy, it's not good. You can literally see what the tattoo was. That was for sure a moon and a sun, right? You can see that. You can literally see that this Tatt2Away has scarred this person for life with the shape of their existing tattoo. This post says, about 2 years ago, I did Tatt2Away on a horrible tattoo. I regret not doing laser, but what can you do now? I had 2 sessions and then about a year later got a piece over most of the scarring, so it could be somewhat masked. If you aren't looking hard enough, you can't see the outline of my tattoo, but to me, I can see it. Is there anything I can do to help the redness of my scars go away? They are slightly raised, but not much. I just would love to try to reduce the redness so it's not as noticeable. I obviously do not want to do anything that could harm, I think that is, my cover up, because I love it. I have tried bio oil and didn't work. I used vitamin E oil but wasn't consistent. Did that work for anyone else? I'm open to try anything. Here's some before and after pictures. I beg you to not get Tatt2Away. And this is what the cover up looks like. Let me zoom in here. I can just about see some redness there. It's like in one of the bigger petals to the right side. Sorry, I had to look at my thumbs. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I mean, it's not super noticeable. I mean, this isn't the best photo. You know, if it was zoomed in and better quality, then sure, okay, we could maybe see it better. But when I zoom in on my Mac, I can't really see much at all. But I'm glad they've put something over the top that is really, really pretty. You know, like that's a very, very nice tattoo. So I'm glad they've had some relief from it being super noticeable. But I think with something like what they have here, like this amount of scarring, that's going to take years and years and years to go down. Like, it's going to take a long time. Here's another post that says, Tatt2Away scarred my skin so bad, please stay away. I did it in 2022 and I seriously regret not doing further research. You're better off doing laser treatments because the scarring from this method is irreversible. I don't even know what to do with this. I regret it so much. And again, I can't imagine going from tattoo regret to regretting getting your tattoo removed because of the way that the tattoo removal is done. Brutal. Like, I can't imagine having a tattoo that you regret and then having scarring on top of that and then trying to figure out how to fix the both of them. Like, do you get the cover up? But a big portion of people that get removal of their tattoos aren't looking to get another tattoo on top. They want no tattoos at all. So you're either stuck with scarring or you have to get a tattoo and you might not want a tattoo. Like, ooh. Someone said, how is this still a thing in 2025? I almost fell victim to them, but I'm glad I snapped out of it. I hope you can find peace. Someone else said, when I went, they said it leaves scars and it's best if doing a cover up after only. I'm so sorry this happened to you. And then someone said, they actually say this? Wow. I have a feeling that they didn't used to say that. I feel like it's a case of, oops, people are having bad experiences, we better start saying it. Kind of like with our besties Ephemeral when they were like, oh, we can give you a tattoo that will disappear in 9 months, and now there's people walking around with the tattoo that was meant to last 9 months 3 years later. You know, I feel like it might be a case of that. Someone said, it can't be fixed. Fractional laser won't even help. Personal injury lawyer is the answer here. No contract on earth that you entered makes this acceptable. Your only option is to remove the rest of the ink and cover it up or live with permanent scarring. Absurd that the people doing this still get away with it. I also don't understand how people are getting this procedure because the smallest amount of research will tell you this is the normal outcome. The original poster says you're absolutely right. right, I will definitely contact a personal injury lawyer. I'm somebody that generally does a lot of research before doing something. This time, I generally don't know what happened. She was a friend of a friend and I got blindsided. So stupid of me. I mean, that does happen to the best of us. I mean, I will always say, research your tattoo artist, research what you're getting tattooed on you, like research everything. Someone else said, yeah, because Tatt2Away is a scam. And the original poster said, exactly. And then there is another post of someone showing their scarring. Their scarring isn't the worst we've seen, but it's still obviously not great. It says, I'm in the process of having tattoo removed with Tatt2Away, where they tattoo small circles with lactic acid. They scab, and when the scab falls off, it pulls the ink with it. I went twice to the same person. The first time he did it as he was supposed to with the circles and it healed beautifully. The second time in a different area, he said, I'm going to do more of the black lines this time, so not circles, but longer oval shapes. Oh, I do see that actually. It didn't heal right. The scabs fell out way too early and they scarred. It's been close to a year. I've worked on the scars off and on and they are better, but definitely still there. And then someone said, oh my goodness, I have never heard of this method of tattoo removal, but I have heard bad things about Tatt2Away. I think they are getting sued or something. For scarring, you might want to meet with a dermatologist and stop treatment for a while and then switch to laser removal instead if the derm thinks it's safe to do so. Oh boy, so yeah, Tatt2Away is quite a problematic tattoo removal system. Like this comment that I just read said about they may be getting sued. I looked into this to see if I could find anything, and one thing that did pop up is the fact that Tatt2Away on their website addresses this accusation. You know it's bad when a company has to have an actual page dedicated to the fact of whether they're being sued or not, right? Like, okay. So here is the page. It says Tatt2Away lawsuit. Tatt2Away lawsuits, what you need to know. If you've searched Tatt2Away lawsuit, you're not alone. It's common for people to research companies thoroughly before committing to services like tattoo removal, and we believe in meeting that curiosity with transparency, whether you're a potential client or just exploring your options. This blog will help clarify the facts and give you a clearer picture of what Tatt2Away is really about. But first, let us cut to the chase. There are currently no lawsuits against Tatt2Away, which is kind of shocking, okay, because I fully believe that people would have a leg to stand on should they want to take legal action, because they're being scarred for life, and it's not even like a little scar or a little something, you know, that you could just be like, oh, it is just, you know, a risk of getting X, Y, and Z. You know, when you get tattooed, you're at risk of having a scar tattoo, of having blowouts, of having an infection. We all know this and we all sign up for that, right? But with this, and especially with their before and after photos, okay, on their website, they don't show the, you know, the bad side of it. And it's also not really addressed anywhere on their website. We read the FAQ and they didn't really mention scarring there at all, apart from the keloid scars. So it says where the rumours came from about a lawsuit. Mentions of lawsuits or legal claims tied to Tatt2Away have circulated online, particularly on forums like Reddit. I just need to say something real quick. This is given ephemeral, you know? Like when Ephemeral started addressing the claims that their tattoos weren't fading, they started to do posts here and there, and they were kind of snarky, kind of like, what's the word? Indirect to those that were complaining. It just doesn't seem professional to me at all. It seems very, no, don't attack me, don't say bad things about me. And I don't know, it's just very defensive. The webpage carries on saying, it's important to understand that much of this stems from individual experiences, misunderstandings, or unfortunate mishandling of Tatt2Away's aftercare procedure. So this is basically Tatt2Away blaming the clients that have had bad experiences with Tatt2Away on the fact that they haven't looked after their Tatt2Away procedure in the aftercare portion of healing. Okay, they're basically putting blame on clients. They're washing their hands and saying, no, we have nothing to do with this. Okay, this isn't our problem, this isn't our fault. I'm sorry, but not every single person that's had a bad experience with Tatt2Away is going to have not listened to aftercare. I find this all incredibly absurd to just put blame on everyone that's had a bad experience. Like, what the actual fuck? Like, take some accountability, please. While no company is immune to criticism, not all complaints equate to legal action or wrongdoing. In fact, many of the concerns discussed online are related to healing timelines or differences in expectation, not legal liability or negligence. We welcome dialogue about these topics because they help us grow, improve, and continue to serve people better. Okay, absolutely, they do help people grow, but if you are having a lot of people complaining on forums like Reddit, you should maybe take a look at what you're doing and improve what you're doing. Okay, like, instead of writing, you know, sassy blog posts like this is 2010 and it's fucking Tumblr, like, what are we doing? The facts about Tatt2Away. Tatt2Away is an FDA registered, safe, natural and effective non-laser tattoo removal system that uses a precision-controlled dermabrasion technique to abrade the skin, triggering the dermis to naturally expel ink, and all of that stuff. Like, we've basically read all of this and what it does. What Tatt2Away has learned. While rumours have circulated about Tatt2Away lawsuits, this is not substantiated. Is that the word, substantiated? Like any growing business, we've received feedback, some positive, some constructive. There's constructive and then there's downright, what the fuck have you done to me? I am scarred for life. We take every concern seriously and have used them as foundation for improvement. In recent years, we've strengthened technician training and certification programs, aftercare education and materials for clients, internal support processes for healing related questions, a trained clinical leadership team. We believe that listening and adapting is key to building long-term trust. But again, a moment ago, they were just blaming clients for not looking after their Tatt2Away situation with aftercare. Okay. Why trust matters. Tatt2Away has served thousands of clients with visible real results, actually removing the ink from the body. We showcase verified before and after photos and proudly share 5-star reviews from people who have trusted us to help them move forward. Whether it's about self-confidence, career changes, or personal growth, we understand the emotions behind every tattoo removal journey. Transparency is not just a policy, it's part of our identity. How Tatt2Away handles concerns today. If a client has a concern about healing or expectations, we now have a dedicated healing concerns form and support team to help resolve the issue quickly and compassionately. We involve our clinical led team, the treating technician, and the client in every case. We also investigate all poor reviews and respond with listening and care. When a concern is valid, we work to make it right. When a concern is valid. So what do they class a valid concern? Like, what is the criteria for that? Don't complain on Reddit. That's not valid. Final word regarding Tatt2Away lawsuits. The bottom line, Tatt2Away is here to support real people through real transformations. We are proud of the work we do, and we aren't afraid to face tough questions head on. Our goal is to empower clients and licensed providers with safe, effective tattoo removal, and to do it with clarity, care, and confidence. If you have questions or want to know more, we encourage you to reach out and explore more, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, that's basically Tatt2Away. My final thoughts are, of course, always do your research into what you're getting yourself into when it comes to, you know, procedures with your body, no matter what it is, tattoos, laser removal, surgery, whatever it may be, okay? Always do your research because you need to know everything and you need to know what you're getting yourself in for, especially with something like this. I personally would not use Tatt2Away to get rid of a tattoo. That's just me personally. Obviously, you know, you may be intrigued. You may be down for some of this, I don't know, but again, please do your research. There's a lot more stories out there about Tatt2Away. I've only read some of them, of course, because otherwise this video would be fucking long. But yeah, I personally wouldn't go down this route. It's too much for me. It's too much, man. It's too, like, no, it should, no. Okay, I'm not about this. I'm sorry. No. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not worth the risk. So that's it for today's video. I would absolutely love to know your thoughts and opinions on this. Would you dabble in this? Can you see any benefits other than price and time? Is there anything here that is intriguing you? Please do sound off down below. And yeah, okay, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little while. I appreciate you all so freaking much. And until my next video, stay safe, stay well, and until my next video, bye.